Chiefs over the Niners in overtime. It wasn't a great game. It was a great finish. And sometimes we mistake the two. It's like, man, that was a great game. No, it wasn't. But it was a great finish. Interesting finish. And this is how it sounded for the Kansas City Chiefs on their home radio network.
McKinnon is in at running back. First down and goal to go. Play action fake. Right side throw. Touchdown! Kansas City! McCole Hardman with the catch on the right side. A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game. And the Chiefs Kingdom has started its own history class. Because for the first time in 6,944 days, there is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Somebody was doing some homework prior to that touchdown.
Somebody was prepared for that call.
They were. The Niners weren't prepared. This is how it sounded on the 49ers radio network.
7 seconds, 6. They are going to snap it. Mahomes going to roll to his right, throws, touchdown. The Chiefs have won the Super Bowl. McCole Hardman. As they roll Mahomes right, McCole Hardman is wide open. And the Chiefs win the Super Bowl back-to-back years. Another heartbreaking loss for Kyle Shanahan.
That's courtesy of KNBR, the 49ers radio network. All right, we'll have a poll question here. And Seton, what are we going to go with first hour?
Well, we got a couple of them here, Dan. The 49ers lost because, Paul sent this one in. The blocked extra point.
Okay.
The decisions of their coaches. Mahomes got the ball last. Other, neither, neither.
Okay. I think they're all under the umbrella of that's why they lost. But what would be the one that would stand out more than any? I hate, looking at the coaching staff here, but it just, I was puzzled at times with what they were trying to. It's almost like Kyle Shanahan in the second half wanted Brock Purdy to be the MVP. It felt like the play calling was, we're going to have you win this. Instead of just saying to Christian McCaffrey, why don't you run again? Hey, why don't we get it to him again? Andy Reid brought up something interesting, that he was calling plays for players. Basically saying, get the ball to this guy, or you take it. Whereas it felt like San Francisco wasn't doing that. They were calling plays instead of just saying, get the ball to Christian McCaffrey. George Kittle was non-existent. Debo was in and out of the lineup, not completely healthy. Brandon Ayuk would have had the game-winning touchdown, but give credit to Chris Jones running up the middle, hurrying Brock Purdy. It just felt like their play calling was more guided towards Brock Purdy than it was Christian McCaffrey. And I was a little bit surprised with that. But, the block came down to defense. It came down to Kansas City's defense versus San Francisco's offense. And Kansas City's defense lived up to the billing. San Francisco's offense didn't. Because if I would have said to you, hey, 19 points, San Francisco get 19 points before you go into overtime, what do you think? I'd sign up for that in a second. San Francisco's defense played pretty well with Kansas City. Still, though, this isn't a great Kansas City offense. This was supposed to be a great San Francisco offense. Patrick Mahomes didn't have a 1,000-yard receiver and didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher. You can't say, oh, can he do it without Tyreek Hill anymore? He's got receivers who drop the ball. Through all of that, he did just enough. Just enough. And once again, I thought San Francisco was probably the better team. I was not betting against Patrick Mahomes. And that's why I took the Chiefs, because of that last drive. And we can talk about the philosophy of, Kyle Shanahan taking the ball in overtime. We'll talk about that. And he tries to explain that coming up here. But here's Super Bowl number 3 for Patrick Mahomes. And he talked about winning.
Is this one the most satisfying based on where you were, losing 5 of 8 at one point in the regular season?
1,000%. I mean, just the attitude of the team to never give up, always believe, and to continue the fight. It's special, and I'm proud of the guys, man. I mean, we battled through and through all the way through the playoffs into the Super Bowl, and just like our whole season, it came down to the last play.
Yeah. And it's almost like it was a foregone conclusion. If you look at the body language of the Niners, because the clock is running. And then all of a sudden, I mean, that was a simple play. I mean, there wasn't anything special. It's just like, here it is. Oh, there's the game. Yeah, Paulie.
That's what really surprised me at the end. It was 1st and goal at the 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And the clock's running down. And it almost like Nance and Romo thought they were going to let the clock run out, reset, and go back to the other side. It's like they said, hey, man, let's just get a playoff real quick here before the Niners have a chance to set up, because we have 3 more shots at the end zone. And the clock was running. I thought they were going to let it go.
Yeah, it was surprising. But I think, I mean, you had Mahomes there. And I'm watching the clock, and I'm going, you got to hurry. You got to hurry. And then I realized, you're good. Yeah, I had a couple seconds to spare there. But I thought it was an interesting game. It was a weird game. I didn't think it was a great game. But they don't hand out style points. Yeah, Brady won a couple of Super Bowls when he beat the Rams, and he also beat the Rams. He beat the L.A. version and the St. Louis version, and it wasn't pretty, but it was a win. And it came down to, can you make plays? Chris Jones, who basically had to beg to get a new contract or a 1-year deal. And when you needed him the most, he made probably the biggest play of the game. When he went up the middle with Purdy, and then because Ayuk is there for a touchdown, you want the players who make plays when you need them. Mahomes did. Chris Jones did. San Francisco's big players, they did not. All right. This first hour brought to you by the great folks at Tire Rack. TireRack.com. Great to see them. When we were out in Las Vegas, spent some time, went to dinner with them. The easy-to-use tire decision guide. Free road hazard protection. Mobile tire installation available in a lot of areas. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. All right. Any other poll questions, Seton, before we zero in on one?
We have another option of basically the same poll question, which is the main reason the Chiefs won last night is, well, let you guess who this was written by.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is great and Brock Purdy is not.
Wow.
Andy Reid outcoached Kyle Shanahan.
Wow. Who's mean-spirited today?
The Chiefs are just the better team.
Okay.
Or the magic of Tay-Tay with a side of Blake Lively.
Got to factor that in.
I'll take some Taylor Swift with a side order of Blake Lively,
Ice
please.
Spice thrown in there, too, as the beverage, perhaps. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Todd, are you being mean-spirited today?
A little mean-spirited. But I think those are all valid choices.
Okay.
They sound mean-spirited, but if there's some truth to it, it's not that mean-spirited.
Yes, Seton.
To me, everything, like every single one of these options originates in one person. Like, why did Brock Purdy have the ball in his hand so much and not run it?
That's Kyle Shanahan.
Okay, right. The Patrick Mahomes getting the ball last, which was who made that decision?
That would be Kyle Shanahan.
Right. They're just, man, I just don't understand what the 49ers were doing.
Are they going to be the best team to never win a Super Bowl? Because, you start to look at these windows, and, man, do they close quickly. You're like, oh, we got a guy who's on a rookie deal, and McCaffrey is still great. And then you start to look at, okay, Trent Williams, how much longer is he going to play? George Kittle, how much longer is he going to play? Fred Warner, who's wonderful. Greenlaw, that injury, coming back from a torn Achilles. That was really devastating for San Francisco. Because, yes, you lose him. You're like looking over and you're going, wait a minute, where is he? He's on the sidelines. First of all, CBS, incredible that you had a camera on him. And you see from behind, he's ready to go on the field, and then he stops, and then he gets ready, and he goes back on, and then he goes down. And Paulie immediately goes, Achilles. And I thought, oh, my God. Non-contact, that's it. Done. And you were playing well. He's so impactful on that team. So it's a loss, but it's the Super Bowl. It's devastating. I mean, he's one of your, 2 leaders on defense? And then all of a sudden you lose him. And I thought Bosa put a ton of pressure on Mahomes last night. Chase Young was sort of there involved. San Francisco was getting what they needed to get. And at halftime, And I remember my wife saying, "You still like the Chiefs?" I said, "I love the Chiefs." If I could have bet at halftime of who was going to win that game, it was going to be the Chiefs. There was never a doubt in my mind. Now, when it started, I thought, uh-oh. All right. And then McCaffrey fumbles. And I go, okay.
Brutal.
But at halftime, I thought, I lit up a cigar. Like, I felt that confident. It wasn't a Red Auerbach cigar like victory, but I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit back. I like Kansas City. It wasn't pretty. And there were times where you go, San Francisco should win this game. It's just you got 15 over there, man. Yeah. Yes, Eaton.
There was, going into halftime, I was like, this is a disaster. This is terrible for the 49ers.
Yeah.
Because you have to put up way more points than that. And I just don't understand why your decision is, hey, Brock, I know we have like the best rusher in football right here, but I want you to throw the ball almost 50 times and try to, try to win us the game. I mean, dude, run it. The dude's getting 6 yards of play. Put it in McCaffrey's hands.
Yes, Paulie.
One series that really stood out. Remember, in the start of the third quarter, Mahomes gets the ball. He drops a snap, and they mess that play up. The next play was incomplete, or I think he completed. And then on 3rd and 12, he overthrows Kelsey and gets intercepted. And you're like, oh my gosh, the Niners are to storm right back. The Niners went 3 and out and didn't get any points after a Mahomes interception. I remember thinking they had a chance to step on the gas there, and that whole third quarter went sideways for them right after that.
What do we have, 2 overtimes in Super Bowl history? And Kyle Shanahan's been involved in both of them. It's tough.
And had a lead in both games.
Yes. Yes. You know, you want to wear that offensive genius label. You know, this is when you prove that you're worthy of that. Regular season is wonderful. There's a lot of great regular season players and teams and coaches. Man, when it gets tight, what do? And last night, San Francisco had the opportunities. I was inundated with numerology prior to the game, during the game, after the game by Fritzy. Fritzy has another numerology that you're going to drop on me today.
I am. I was just thinking that Mecole Hardman gets the winning touchdown. 6 letters in his first name, 7 letters in his last name. Add that up to 13. That seems to be the big number for Taylor Swift. Also, the losing team scored 22, and she's feeling 22. That's one of her songs. There's just a couple of more things on top of the numerology we got bombarded with for the last 2 weeks.
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It was like I didn't need it, but I was glad that I was getting that throughout the game. Pre-game, had a lot of numerology. Yes, Todd?
And Kyle Shanahan last night lost to a team that scored a final of how many points?
25.
And what is the difference between 28 and 3 in the Falcons game there with the Patriots?
25.
2 25s, yeah. 13s, 25s.
All righty.
All right, back to you in the studio.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Paul.
There is one thing we haven't talked about yet, and I waited as long as I can. There's a young man to my left who loves his Niners, who flies the colors, really loves the team.
Do you have any Niner colors on today?
What team?
Yeah.
Man, it was hard last night.
Yeah.
The loss was difficult.
Was it Mecole Hardman last night for you?
It's too soon.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul.
Marv, was there a point in the game where you thought to yourself, I think we got it?
No, never.
Or even a little bit, like, you know, when they're driving down the field, 2-minute warning, and it was like 3rd and 5, and all they needed was a first down, and they're probably going to kick a field goal to win it?
No, never. Not once. Not once. I was like, when the game is over and the 49ers have more points than the Chiefs, because now, and I hate to be a prisoner of the moment, this is Brady, this is Jordan. Like, you do not, you were saying it all week.
Yeah.
The 49ers are probably the better team, but I just can't bet against 15. It's very Brady-esque. Any team, anybody that's out there that's a fan of a team that's lost, besides the Giants, to Tom Brady, it's like, look, Atlanta can speak to this. And Kyle Shanahan's the common denominator. Go ahead.
Keep your head up.
I was upset for a full 10 minutes, then I went to sleep.